bad, you? Well, I'm on Twitter at ITZ Timmeh V2, and then on Xbox at V2 Timmeh. And then I have this YouTube channel, but I don't do anything on it other than speak in chats. So. Well, I've had a little go on Tiny Tina's Wonderland, playing Elden Ring, Gems of War, which is like a free-to-play game. I've only played, I think, was it a couple of hours of it. I haven't really got that far. I've really just got past the tutorial bit, so I haven't really got into it yet. Because I had to go to bed because I was playing quite late and I had to go to bed because I had to be up for work. Hopefully play some more tomorrow if I can get around to it. Yeah. Elden Ring, Gems of War. I had a little go at this game that was free with Games Gold earlier just to see what it was like. What was it called? Pro Street Soccer or Pro Freestyle, something like that. You know, the one that was with the Games with Gold for March. I can't remember what it's called, but and I also had a little go on that Crusader Kings 3. Is it Crusader Kings 3 or 2? You know, the one that's in Game Pass that's just got added recently. But I was going through the tutorial bit of that.
Wow. So I just realized that I restart my computer and my OBS completely cut out my mic, so I had to reconnect my mic. So welcome everybody. Hi. Thanks for coming
I was
out.
wondering why
Hi.
it went a bit quiet.
Yeah, thanks everybody in the chat for letting me know that Tim's just talking to himself right now. It's just me just hanging out. Sensei 808, you came to the rescue for your boy. So I appreciate it. Thank you for saying something. Thanks for speaking up and not just leaving your boy out here to dry, because that would have been off. That would have been off.
Yeah, spent the whole time talking to myself on the show. That would have been quite funny.
I got a whole episode where you're just kind of interviewing yourself.
Yeah.
Great. So Elden Ring, Tiny Tina's, a few games from the gold. So you're one of the few shoppers, or not shoppers, but people taking advantage of that gold, huh?
Well, it's because it was a football game and I played a few football games. I thought I'd just have a look to see what it's like.
How is it? Was it worth it?
It was quite silly to play. I didn't get into that much. So I was like, didn't like how it played. It felt a bit strange.
Yeah, I feel you. All right. Well,
and then also try that Crusader Kings 3 as well. That's
oh,
in Game
right.
Pass to see what that's like.
Yeah, that game's wild. I've been hearing some people telling me about some of the stories that they created for themselves in that game, and it can get a little weird.
I only just played the tutorial just to see what it was like.
Okay. So we were talking a little bit earlier about some of the consoles, or at least you were asking me question about like consoles and stuff like that. I'm kind of curious, like what was the very first console that you played?
I think I think we had an Atari because I remember playing the was it Pong game? Was it called? Where you had like the joystick and then you'd have like the two bats on the screen, and you like hit the ball from side to from the really old school like where you just had like a joystick type thing with the red button, and then you'd play like the Pong game. I think it was called.
Yes, sir. I'm pretty sure that's what it was called as well. It's super duper classic. So you've been around the block for quite
and,
some time.
and then we had a Commodore 64 as well.
Wow.
I wasn't around probably when those consoles came out, but my parents had them, so I got to play on them.
So you came from gamers.
Well, I think they bought them because they had other kids that they bought the consoles for them to play on, not actually because they were playing it themselves.
Oh, okay. Well, at least they gave them kids before something to enjoy. That's for sure. But now that kind of brings into my kind of first question of the show, which would be, bruh, like, what got you into gaming? I mean, I see you, like I said, in these chats and whatnot, and you're saying what's up to a lot of people. Sometimes you say a little something, something, but I feel like you're a mystery. I feel like you're a little bit of a mystery, and I just kind of want to figure out, like, what did you really start to like, and who is Tim?
What did I start to like in gaming, or
Yeah, like, where did you grow up playing? What did you grow up starting out doing? Like, that you stuck to, and you're just like, all right, I'm playing this game for a hot minute.
the only game that I really got hooked onto what's it called? Elder Scrolls Oblivion on the Xbox 360.
Oh wow. Okay. So you're into those art like Western RPGs.
Yeah, I played over 100 hours on that game. Some of the games I probably played similar amount of time to on the old console, but that was a game that I got really hooked onto and was like wanting to do so many different things on it.
Okay, yeah, because that game had a ton of options. So that is something I'm not surprised that you like if you like those types of games. But
You had to like do guild missions like for each of the guilds, and then you also had to do story missions and also do the arena as well and stuff.
okay, all right. So you did that. Was that the first console that you had on your own, or did you, or was that given to you?
I had friend buy it that I was living with, so he bought the console that we shared to play on, and then I would play it on that. My own console that I had that I owned actually myself was the Xbox One. It's the first one I actually owned that I bought with my own money. That I didn't have to get money off someone else to get it. Or
And then what was the first game that you purchased for it? Everybody remembers their first game on the console, bruh.
was it Forza Motorsport 5? I think because you had FIFA free with it because you got FIFA
Yeah.
14 free with pre-orders. I think it was.
Yeah, because it came out in 13, so it would have been 14.
Then I think I bought Forza Horizon. Was it Destiny actually? I got first.
Destiny
But
was dope.
yeah,
Destiny was
no, it was
dope when
either,
it
I
came
think it
out.
was either Forza or Destiny. I think that I bought one of those two.
Okay. So your taste kind of grew a little bit through the 360 period to the Xbox One period. Started opening it up and playing some different stuff.
Yep.
What is it about Xbox that kind of keeps you with that console? Because I mean, I currently, I've been with riding with Xbox since I want to say like 2002, um, like late 2002 is what I want to say. Um, I usually went to my friend's house to play it because I owned a PS2 at that time, and I wasn't gonna go out and change right away because I was a kid and I ain't got money like that to be able to do that. But eventually I switched over. But what kept you kind of in that ecosystem? Was there anything particular about it, or was it the games, or?
Some of the games, and then the fact that a lot of friends I knew would be on that console, so it meant I had people that I could talk to and play with on certain games on that console more than other ones.
Gotcha. So multiplayer was a big thing for you?
Yep.
Did you ever get into Borderlands, like the earlier ones, one or two, even
I had a
three?
little go in one. I played a bit of two with a friend, but we never got round to carrying on with it. And then I played three quite a lot and
Yep.
got through all the story on that and played a few other things on it after the story.
So I'm guessing three was probably your favorite one, since you put that much damage in it.
Yeah.
Yep. Two was my favorite one just for the fact that the the um the siren was just like unstoppable. It felt like in that game.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think two is my friend's favorite as well.
It was just such a good game, especially when the phase lock would bounce from one person to another, and like it would be so strong that like when it popped into them, it would like almost explode them, and then hop to the next person and just keep doing it until it ran into somebody that was tough, and then you just used it to use that status effect to shoot them down and whatnot, and they got just washed up easily, especially if you ran around with that B, the B shield. That thing was tough
Oh,
because it did all that amp damage. That was my favorite shield by far in that game. But all right, so kind of curious of you said the 360 was was that your go-to like favorite console of all time,
mm,
or has things changed?
probably say more newer Xboxes, more like ones that become more my favorite. Like I enjoyed some of the older consoles, but like before I didn't really play much online with other people on those because you didn't have internet or anything during those times. So it's more of like doing it on my own, more sort of thing,
Gotcha. All right.
and didn't always get to play that much on it because of either my friend was playing it or
So
I
now
used to
we
have a good
got
time playing the old Guitar Hero games on the 360. That
ooh,
was always
Guitar
my best.
Hero. What was
Guitar
the
Hero Rock Band.
what was the song? Everyone has the song.
Well, which song was
The
the one you
song that
played
you
the
used
most?
to smash.
I think there was one song that I managed to get 100% on an expert on, but that was playing on the bass, but I can't remember what it was.
That's a tough question, isn't it? Maybe we might have to
Yeah,
come
right.
back to that one. I'm gonna let you think about
I
that.
can't remember many of the songs I played to know which one was. I can't even remember which one it was because it was so long ago.
Yeah, you're right. Because I mean, that was some time we haven't seen any of that stuff, come out for anything new.
I know the song that my housemate used to play loads, and he'd always keep trying 100% on expert every song 'cause it was his favorite song to play, especially when he was drunk. and that was that "Hungry Like the Wolf" by Dire Straits. Is it Dire Straits? "Hungry Like the Wolf." Is it Dire Straits that did that song, or was it someone else?
Ooh, I don't know, man. I'm
"Hungry
so
Like the
bad
Wolf."
with names. I'm so bad with names, especially on songs that I'm not very familiar with. But but yeah, drinking and playing that game was very fun to do. It was, especially when you could. I mean, you could make a game out of it. It was very innovative for the time. That's for sure. I really enjoyed passing around the guitar and battling out with people. But there was always that one person. There was always that one person that you just didn't even want to go verse because it was a waste of time. There was always that person, and it wasn't me. It definitely wasn't me.
Was it because they were bad, or because they were too good? You just like, yeah, no
Too
chance.
good. They're too good. I mean, it's fun playing somebody bad because you just whooping their ass. But yeah, when it's when they're so good that you're playing on a lower difficulty and you see them crushing you, or they're playing on a higher difficulty. Excuse me, they're playing on like a higher difficulty than you, and they just crush the thing that you just had an issue with on just like normal or easy or something like that. Like it's demoralizing, and it makes you not want to play another song.
Problem is with playing on the harder to go is it boy it used to hurt your arms after a while because it was about like movement of just staying and trying to flick your fingers really fast and like stuff like that would make your forearm ache because of the amount of strain you'd put on it trying to move your fingers quick. So sometimes playing an expert is a bit painful rather than like easy.
Yeah, Tim was strumming. Look at him. He got some.
But,
He got some history on some pain.
no, my ex-housemate used to have that when he was trying to play. Was it Greengrass and High Tide? I think it was on Rock Band 3. He was trying to play that on expert. He used to give him such arm ache after a while because it was so long-winded. Like trying to play that on expert, his arm would just give in and just be like, I can't do it.
You know, I've never got the chance to play the drum thing on Rock Band.
Either.
Oh, you didn't get to try it either. I was gonna ask you what that was like because I've never tried that at all.
I never
What's
did
up,
the drum
Wandering
bit
Dutch? Thanks for coming in, bruh.
nor the microphone. Never had to go on that either. I only ever did the guitar and just guitar and play the guitar or bass.
All right. Well, now we gotta move on to the next one because I'm kind of curious. Um, do you have a most memorable moment throughout your time within gaming? So, like, let me break it down for you a little bit. So, if have you ever gone to like events or like did you ever like do like a big party or like LAN parties back in the day, or like just give me an experience that Tim has had in the past that is really special for you.
Just having loads of people over playing Rock Band. Really, I remember like me and a friend managed to do some of Call of Duty. I think it was it 2 on Veteran or something. It was like taking in turns getting past certain parts of the level. He would do it for a bit, then I would take over, and then he would do it again. We'd eventually get through some bits after a while.
Got it. Now, out of curiosity, did you did you did you ever play like N64 or any of the
You
older
had a little
hardware?
going in 64. I think I played a little bit of Pokemon game on it. Can't remember which one it was. I think a little bit of GoldenEye. I think I had a little go at it.
Did you ever get down on Smash though?
No.
Wow. You're one of the few people I've heard that didn't get down on Smash Brothers.
I only played on the N64 when I went to someone's house because they had one. I never had one myself to play on.
Still wild.
No. Even when they had, even if they had them in the shops, I don't think I ever played on anything.
Yeah, there ain't nothing you can tell me about that, bro. That's wild to me because usually that's like the staple. I guess you could say, GoldenEye is up there too, though. So you definitely got some 64 in, but I'm surprised you never got down with the Smash Brothers, bro. But that's all
Yeah.
good. Yeah, that's all good. I mean, that's
The
a
only games I remember playing on the Dreamcast was the Ready to Rumble boxing, Crazy
ooh.
Taxi.
Okay. So now we're moving into Dreamcast land.
Yeah, I already played 2 games on that as well, I think.
All right. Well, that kind of goes into my next question, essentially, which is more or less a little bit of a game. So you kind of answered one of them right there, because I usually like to throw out the Dreamcast in this game. But but you pretty much told me that's it. Those are the 2 games I played on it. But just to give everybody some context that happens to be watching, the
Yep.
question the game will be, without overthinking, what's the first game that comes to your mind when I say the name of a console? And going ahead and answer the Dreamcast one
You
first.
gone again?
What's that? You good?
Oh, there you go. He disappeared again.
Oh.
You were saying something and then you just cut off, and I'm like, huh?
Oh no, I was saying go on ahead and repeat that the 2 Dreamcast games.
Oh, Ready to Rumble boxing and Crazy Taxi.
Gotcha. And then the next console that I'm going to go on ahead and bring up is going to be the original Xbox. And you can't say Halo.
Hmm. What games? What
What's the first game you think
thematic
of?
game? Oh, the first game I can think of playing on that. True Crime Streets of LA.
Let's go. Let's go. Like let's please if this Activision deal gets done, let's do that again. Cuz that game was so fantastic. Um, I played it when I was young on the GameCube, and I also played it on the Xbox when I ended up getting one of those. And that game was absolutely fantastic.
He was
The
just funny running around arresting people all the time, wasn't it?
oh
And then you'd
yeah,
always keep saying that he was a DEA agent or something every time when you did it.
I like the Max Payne kind of like slow motion shooting
Oh yeah.
that you had in that game, and then also I thought the driving and just like the size of the map was just massive for that time, for that time period, for sure. Man, like I said, this part of the show always gets out of out of control. I always end up going on tangents. But anyways, getting back to it, next console I want to pick is gonna be hmm. I'm gonna go back to the PlayStation 2.
I think the thing that made me buy that first off was the SmackDown Just Bring It game.
Man, you're picking up the bangers.
Yeah, it was SmackDown Just Bring It, and then I think it was Dynasty Warriors after that.
Oh man, we would have been boys back in the day, bro. Like Dynasty Warriors, man. I used to literally go around and just get as many kills as you can possibly get, just to see that meter just keep going up, keep going up. I could care less about the mission. Didn't care about
Try to see if you
creation.
get over 1,000 kills.
Right. The point was just to kill everything, leave nothing,
Yeah.
nothing but bodies, like Arnold. All right. Great answer for sure. But let's go one generation back to the original PlayStation. What you got for me?
Siphon filter.
Siphon filter. I never got to beat that game. I only played that game on the demo. I don't know if anybody remembers, but when you got your PlayStation, I believe you got demos on it, and I think Siphon Filter was one of those demos.
And I think FIFA 99 was another game that I enjoyed on playing on that because I played it a lot in shops when they had the PlayStations in shops.
You really
And
like that game.
did they used to have Manhunt on the first PlayStation? Or was that on? I can't remember if that was on the original PlayStation or whether that was on.
That's a good question.
Or that was on 360 and PS2.
Kind of curious. I'm look that up right now. It says it was on the Xbox, so it was a PlayStation 2 game. All right, and then I'm gonna go on ahead and cut this game short. I'm gonna ask you real quick. I want you to name a game that hasn't came out yet for the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X that you're looking forward to. Like, what's the first thing that comes to mind, at least?
Starfield for Series X.
Okay. And what else you got for the PS5?
Wolverine game looks interesting.
Right. I mean, we haven't really. I mean, it's like Starfield, right? You haven't seen anything on it at all, really. But it does look interesting, and the idea is hella interesting. Now, how would you feel if Wolverine came out and it was an everybody game?
Everybody game.
Like, you know how they have like ratings, like mature or
Oh, you mean if they
for
didn't have all
everybody.
the gore in it that would make it
What happens if it felt like Spider-Man, Miles Morales? Because I mean, in Spider-Man, you don't see all that blood and things aren't like nuts. It's a dope game.
I think people wouldn't think it was a Wolverine game if it didn't have like the gore in it. They would just think it was just a beat 'em.
You think so? I think
Yeah.
I agree with you on that because all the and the way that they showed the like the quick CGI, just couple second trailer of it, it seemed like it was gonna get kind of rowdy up in there. You know what I'm saying? Seems like somebody was finna get cut up. So I'm very interested in something like that for sure. Yeah, very, very good 2 picks. So Starfield and Wolverine, very good picks. Now, here's a question that we kind of discussed a little bit in the green room a little bit. Want you to tell me your favorite studio and what game best represents it.
I quite like stuff that Respawn have done, and I like the Jedi Knight Fallen Order game.
Okay, I know Dealer goats that game. He absolutely loves that one. That game, I swear, I've seen that game on RDX more than I want to because I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not. It just the map and the traversal of that game, just some of it just isn't for me. The combat is dope.
The slide jumping used to annoy me a bit when you just sort of slide and then jump at the right time. And every time you kept getting it timed wrong, you'd fall down and die and you have to start all over again.
Right.
It used to get a bit tedious.
Right. Just little things like that for me. Like
And the bit where you had to sort of jump, then try and jump, wall run, then jump, wall run, that got quite tricky to do as well.
like some of that stuff was kind of cool. I like wall running in video games and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. Like Titanfall is the goat when it comes to wall running. But like I don't know, it just didn't feel right moving around in there. It just didn't feel the way that I like it to feel. It wasn't a horrible game. It just wasn't a game for me. Is the best way that I can put it. Because I know a lot of people thought that when that game came out, it should have been the game of the year, but it came out so early in the year that people thought that it got kind of forgotten about by the time the Game Awards came around. But anyways, moving on. I don't want to get into that argument with whoever. Right? So I'm just kind of curious. Now, Tim, is there a game because you actually listed off quite a bit of different kinds of games throughout your life. I'm kind of curious now. Is there a genre of games that you just either can't stand or just really don't enjoy that much?
Plat, those platforms have a lots of annoying jumps and where you just have to do a lot of jumping all the time because I am not very good at jumping on games. And if it's a game where it's too much jumping, I just get so frustrated with it.
Okay. So yeah, platformers would be it. Did you not like did you even play Psychonauts at all? Did you like it or no?
I enjoyed playing that. I never got around to finishing it, but I did enjoy playing that game. But games like I found Hollow Knight very fiddly to play, and that's like a platformer.
Okay, yeah, yeah, Hollow Knight.
Like a
Didn't that just come
side-scrolling
in the Game
platform.
Pass actually? Or has it been there for a
I
little while?
think it was in there ages ago. I don't know if it's still in there or not, but it was in there.
Yeah, I have no idea if it's even in there anymore at all. I don't know.
I think
Uh,
it got taken out, I think, a little while back, but it was in there to start off with. That's why I tried it because someone kept always going on about because it's like his favorite game. So I thought I'd have a little go just to see what it's like, but I just didn't pick it at all.
Now, is it 2D platforms that you don't like, or 3D, or just platforms?
Platform games that involve a lot of jumping puzzles and jumping, so it can be 3D, 2D.
Got it. So it doesn't matter. You're just like, if it's a platform, it has like a three strike rule. Like while I'm playing it, if it sucks after that third strike, it's getting deleted. It's gone. All right. So that was interesting. That was interesting. All right. So I want you to now go on ahead and tell me the three best games that you played of last year. And then tell me out of those three games, the best.
Well, Halo was last year, wasn't it? Yeah,
Yeah, just
yeah.
barely. So is that one?
Forza Horizon 5.
I'm guessing that's two.
Yeah.
And what's coming? What else is there? Is there anything else?
Was Assassin's Creed Valhalla, was that out last year?
No, that was a 2020 game. It came out
Oh, it's a
like pretty
2020.
much right. Yeah, it came out like when the new consoles came out.
Some of the games I'm not sure when they come out, but I played like indie games. So I don't know.
Ooh, one indie game
Because
that I loved last year was The
that's-
Artful Escape. That game was fire.
yeah, I think Raji and Omno were out in
Raji was dope
2020.
too.
Yeah, I think they must have been 2020, maybe 2020 or 2019.
Yeah, they came out earlier, but they ended up coming into Game Pass at that around that time. So I'll accept that. I'll accept that. But which one is the go to 2021 though? I have a feeling it's between Halo and Forza. Which one is it, bruh?
Forza.
Forza. Okay. I would have thought you was gonna say Halo because of the multiplayer aspect and being able to play with the friends, and I also seen you up in that party with J Rock and them, about to rock on some Halo. But what was it about Forza that kept you driving?
It's like the way the game looked and the different weather effects. The fact you go through sandstorms, and all the different cars you could have a go with.
Yeah, those spins are crazy. Those
Oh
spins, like
yeah.
you'll get some. Like I got the Jesco in one of those spins. That car go 300 miles an hour, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, that thing is going too fast. That game's a lot of fun. I'm really excited to see some more. They actually just had an update, I believe it was today that it rolled out, maybe, or maybe it's coming out. It might be coming out soon. I'm not sure exactly which one it is, but I know they have an update that's pretty dope. It's supposed to fix a lot of stuff within the game, so that'll be exciting to see. I don't have all that information in front of me, so I'm not just gonna talk about it like I know what I'm talking about. I don't. I just know that there is an update that's either came out or about to come out. But anyways, now I want you to go back into your past just one more time for us on the show. All right. I want you to go back and I want you to grab two games that you previously played and bring them now to the high standard that we all expect.
Very calm streets of LA and Def Jam game, either Fight for New York or like
Oh
a
my
newer
God.
version.
You're the GOAT, Tim. You're the GOAT.
Yeah, they were fun games. Those Def Jam games, they were so funny.
Those Def Jam games were so funny. I loved them. They were like you could play as a like I used to play as Method Man, um,
Red Man.
Red Man. Yup, that was really fun. Fat Joe, I think, was in there. DMX, like,
And you had
bruh.
Elephant Man and was it Sean? Is it Sean Paul? Do they have him in there?
Yeah, Sean Paul, the
Yeah.
guy that we be burning, that dude. Yeah, that game was so dope. We already talked about True Crime,
Snoop
so that.
Dogg, he was in it as well.
Oh yeah, Nate, man, R.I.P. the Nate Dogg, because he was so dope. Regulators will forever be a banger.
Buster Rhymes, I think he was in it as well.
Yep, Buster Rhymes' crazy ass was in that game as well too. That was cool. He was one of the boss fights. I remember that. That dude was tough
I
to
think
beat.
Snoop Dogg was as well. I think he was a boss as well. Snoop Dogg.
I wouldn't be surprised, bruh. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't remember the whole cast of that game, but I remember that game was banging. Right now, it's like going for like 150 or $180 online.
Wow.
Yeah, man. 180 like USD. And people are buying it. Like I went to the store, seen it, and I was like, hell nah. Came back to the store the next week and it was gone. Like
Thing is, I don't know now if they was to do a new one, who they'd put in it, because a lot of those rappers in the older games, you don't really see much of them nowadays to know whether they would do it again.
right. So I don't know. Yeah, you don't know how popular it would be. I think it would be pretty popular because everybody loves nostalgia, but like when it comes to like investors and stuff like that, I think unless it was coming out of one of those like rapper pockets or like one of those like like if it was coming out of like Def Jam's pocket or something like that, maybe they'd consider it because then the licensing would pretty much come with it. You know what I mean? But But yeah, I don't see that happening. Even though that would 100% be another banger game. Even if they did something with like rock and roll or something. Like I don't think it would really matter what genre of music as long as they have people that we remember.
It used to be
And
quite funny where you could have like you choose a girl that you'd have as like you're at a half or something, and then you get to a point where you can switch and you have it so you have the two girls fight each other to like which one you'd go for. That was quite funny.
I forgot about that. That was part of the story mode. I forgot about that. You got to play people. That's great. That's fantastic. So that was quick. You actually picked up 2 games to revive really fast. Usually everybody's kind of rubbing the bottom of their chin thinking about it for a minute, but you banged them out. So now kind of comes the tough question a little bit. Oh yeah, David on the Moon said, "Oh yeah, Def Jam." You already know, bro. Like that was the game. That was the game.
And you
Uh,
used to have elephant say, "We are with Batman," or something. It always used to say every time we'd start the fight, "Come by are with Batman," or something like that. He'd always say, and I'm like, what? What does he mean by that?
yeah, they had a bunch of weird quips and stuff that they would say, one-liners, I guess is the best way to put it. But yeah, as I was saying just a moment before I read off Davin's message, I was saying I got kind of a little bit of a tough question for you. Answer it how you will. And this can go in any aspect of gaming at all, but I'm just kind of curious what within gaming frustrates you? Like, just kind of irritates you a little bit. Let me know if you need more context.
Jumping puzzles. Like anything that
Jumping.
involves really tedious jumping, where like it's such a big gap, you got to jump, or you got to like jump like quite high, or you jump too much. Like gets so annoying because every time you muck up, you have to start all over again. You just like seriously, like you get to a certain point and then you fall, and then you have to go all the way back from the bottom, all the way back up to where you was again, and try again.
Yeah, I was playing what was that Marlowe Briggs, and it's an old 360 game. But my buddy asked me to try it out, and it's like it's like if you took CJ from San Andreas, gave him like a God of War tattoo and God of War tools, but kept CJ's kind of personality. And I'm not talking about just regular CJ. I'm talking about CJ after he went to the gym 10 days in a row. Right? So just CJ on swole with God of War weapons and the God of War tattoo and whatnot, similar, something similar. Obviously not the same thing at all, but he has like the whip, the whips that you throw around, and and the single stick or an axe and stuff like that. But this dude just tears apart everything. Like the whole point of the game is just to tear apart everything. And to be honest, I forgot where I was going with that, but I felt the need to bring up that game because that game is freaking insane. I forgot where I was going with that completely, but that game was pretty insane. But oh yeah, you were talking about jumping. So they have a bunch of mini games, or I guess it's not mini games, but it's like part of the level to get to the next part. But they call it like a time trial, and you have to get all these orbs, right? But you're sliding down a hill. And I can guarantee you'd hate this game because you have to time the jump every single time. And you're in the middle of trying to dodge obstacles, so you could hit an obstacle, it'll slow you down, and you can't jump at all. So, Tim, I might have to send you that game. You'll enjoy it. I'll gift that
even
game to you
even
and
on
just
even on the game like Omni, which I enjoy playing, there was a few jumping bits on that would drive me mad because you're something like doing a certain timing. So you had to like press this thing, and it would be like timed for like how long you could have it there for before it would disappear. So you had to press this thing and then try and do all the jumps before the thing would disappear. And the amount of times that you'd end up missing one jump or something like that, like because you had platforms, you had to jump on the platforms when the set time after you triggered the timer. And every time if you just get one slightly wrong, and then you have to start all over again.
Mm-hmm.
And that used to get me really tedious every time I kept mucking up on that. And I think, am I ever going to get past this or what?
Right.
Eventually, I managed to do it.
And that's what I was doing yesterday, because me and my boy Matt that I'm always gaming with every night. I'm sure everybody that comes to this show regularly has heard me say his name plenty of times. But we were talking about hopping on the PS5, but I was playing Marlo Briggs on my Xbox, and I was like, I'll be over there in a moment. Of course, like 15 minutes later, because I'm still doing this course trying to make this jump. Then I finally get over there, and I'm thinking, man, I really need to gift this game to Tim, because I think he'll enjoy doing that kind of stuff in a game. Timing your jump right before you wreck. Oh man, you gotta love it, bruh. Especially when that's something that frustrates you so much. I'm sure if I get that game for you, you'll remember me. You'll remember me forever.
I suppose it's all that way. So, because I remember my friend used to play like the trials games of that, and sometimes that would annoy him when he was trying to do certain stuff on there, and it just wouldn't quite go right for him.
Right.
Just remember with those, you had to time everything just right and have the right momentum and everything. Otherwise, you just wouldn't get to do the jump bits you need to do.
Of course. Now I kind of got an opposite question for you. What would be a dream come true for you in gaming? Now, you can make this as outlandish as you want, or as simple as you want. This is your dream. Go on ahead.
What, like a game to come out, or just
A game, a new console, old developer that doesn't make games anymore coming back to the scene.
I want them to make a game based on the TV series Supernatural.
Really?
Yep.
That's
Because I've
hella
never seen a game
interesting.
for that. I reckon it'd be really cool if you can get all the people that been in the series that would actually play the characters. With that way, it'd be more authentic then. Because I think if they just put anyone in it, then people won't like it. You'd actually have the people that are in it to make people want it more.
That would be something special, something I wouldn't expect at all, but very interesting. I think I'd check it out because it says super in it, and I'm always into stuff that says super in it. Super Mario, Super Smash Brothers.
And I don't know. I don't know whether they could do it as like an open world game or more as like a story driven game. I'm not sure like which way would be best for them to do it.
I don't know, but like I said, Superman, Super Saiyan. I don't care. I like super stuff. I'm with it. So that is your dream come true, is to have a supernatural game.
Yeah, based on the TV series Supernatural. Yeah.
Based on of course. Okay, that is definitely not something I would have even guessed. Not something I would have even guessed. Not even close. So, when you're not gaming, what are you doing other than working? What do you enjoy?
Listening to music, watching TV series, going
So,
out for drinks and stuff with friends.
okay. What you drink?
Well, my favorite drink is Jack Daniel's Tennessee Fire with Pepsi Max Cherry.
Oh, damn, that was specific.
It tastes like the old Big Red chewing gum, if you remember that.
Yeah, yes, I do. That's okay. That isn't something that I would have expected either. I wouldn't have expected you to be that damn serious and like have the specific drink. I thought you were gonna be like, oh, a rum and coke or something like that. You brought the the brand and everything. You know what you like. All right. All right. And we're right towards the end. I might as well go on ahead and ask you, bro, like, do you got any questions for me at all? Out of curiosity.
What got you into gaming?
What got me into gaming? Okay. What got me into gaming? Well, I'd say my family first and foremost, probably. My dad was into gaming. He was into music, artist. He used to be a singer. Um, so he enjoyed like technology. He had like his like turntables. He used to be a DJ as well, and so he always liked to have like nice new TVs, nice cars, and everything like that. And my stepdad was also a gamer too. So like once he got the PlayStation, the original PlayStation, way back in the mid '90s, um, he gave me the Sega Genesis and a couple games that was with it. So I had Road Rash 2, and I had like John Madden football and Bill Walsh college football as well. And I just got down on those games really hard because it was a hand-me-down system, and I was gonna take what I could get. Every once in a while, he'd let me hop on, and like he got the brand new game Ridge Racer, and it was super dope, and it was the adult console. Don't touch this stuff. This is the adult room. The same stuff that I tell my 4-year-old daughter right now. Like I'll let her play any of the games, but she has to come ask because I ain't letting her touch any of these CDs and stuff like that because she'll throw them around like frisbees. Um, but yeah, so seeing like older people that taught me how to live playing video games. And my brother, he played football, and he ended up going he got a full ride scholarship to play for the University in Notre Dame. And he played there, and I happened to get this game for PlayStation when I got the PlayStation, passed down to me because he just slowed down on playing games and started letting me go on ahead and play whenever. Like I supposedly grew up in his eyes. So I ended up getting this game called Game Breaker, and it's a football game. And my brother was in that game, so we had specifically play that game all the time because like it wasn't he didn't like you can't use the name of people in video games, right? But like their numbers are where they're at and the positions and everything. So it's like they're there, but they just don't have their name. So I used to always play as Notre Dame and play as my brother and take him to championships and stuff like that. They didn't do that in real life, so I was, doing doing it at home for him, bro. I was holding him down. But yeah, like just that kind of stuff. Like I said, the family was kind of into gaming, so it really helped me just kind of naturally adjust into it. Our family was really big into sports and stuff like that, so like staying active wasn't an issue. I mean, I was really active all the way up until this last year when I hurt my back at my job. But like I was an indoor skydiving instructor. Like our family is always kind of active doing stuff. So to chill, we'd kick back, play video games. I had all different kinds of consoles growing up. Ended up being kind of a retro nerd at a young age, and then kind of put gaming down for I didn't put gaming down, but I just didn't game as much for a few years, and then the 360 came out, and I got really big into Borderlands really big into Borderlands and football games and Halo 3 and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and 3. And then I bought an Xbox One at launch. That was the first console I bought at launch. And I was super stoked with that. And here I am now with I got the PlayStation 5 and Series X, both of them. I got super lucky. I got them both on launch day, on each of their launch days. So that was
I had my Series X
insane.
come the day after launch day because I had an email said it was supposed to come on launch day, but then I got another email later on saying, "Oh, it's going to be delayed now," so I ended up getting the next day instead. It was annoying. But my PS5 I got actually on launch day.
That's a buzzkill. That's for sure. That's a buzzkill. It's not what you want to see.
It's happened to me with two Xboxes. The Xbox Scorpio one, the Xbox One X Scorpio edition. I ended up getting that the day after I was supposed to get it. I had an email saying I was supposed to get it on launch day, but it came after launch day.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. You can't do anything about it.
You had the day off waiting for it to arrive, and then it doesn't arrive, and you're just like, seriously? What a waste of a day off. I had that day off particularly so I could get that, and then it doesn't turn up, and you're like, wow.
I know it feels like there's something that you can do about it, but there really isn't anything you can do about it, and it sucks. That's a crappy situation for sure. But yeah, man. Yeah, that's kind of how I got into gaming. Like I said, I had a bunch of different consoles as a kid, like the Nomad, the Game Gear, Dreamcast, 64, GameCube, PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2 was the last PlayStation I had until I got this PlayStation 5. I skipped out on the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 era. I wish I didn't skip out on the 4 era. The PlayStation 3, I'm okay that I skipped out on it. I got it now. I actually got it, like all the consoles that I had as a kid, like now. But except the Nomad, I want to get that back. But yeah, man, like I skipped out on the PlayStation 3 and 4 because I was just riding high with Xbox. They impressed me so much with that original Xbox, especially with having music able to be downloaded onto the hard drive.
And you can even have it in certain games as well. Like you could play like a wrestling game, and you have your custom character and have a music track from the actual Xbox that you downloaded on there as your entrance tune, which was quite mad. I used to like doing that. It was so fun.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that was why I had that PlayStation 2 at first, and then I ended, like I started the generation with, I actually started the generation with the GameCube first. And then I got a PS2. And then I got Xbox in that order. And I was
PS1, PS2, then Xbox. Well, I played on a friend's Xbox. I didn't actually get one myself. And then
go ahead.
I had a friend buy a 360. But before that, like when I was at home, like living at home, I had played on the old Atari. Then we had a Commodore 64 that we always used to play. Then they bought us a SNES that we all shared. Then we also used to have an Amiga 500 as well.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I also got a Mega Drive for Christmas because there's some games I've seen on there that I really liked and wanted to play, like the old Premier League Manager and Premier Manager as it was called, Brian Lara's Cricket.
Yeah, I had the Mega Drive, and I had to put a game case behind it to keep it up, right? Because my power, the AC adapter, was wobbly in the back.
Wow.
And I imagine it probably happened because like somebody would walk by, because we had cords on controllers back then, Somebody would walk by and yank that system across the room.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, it was so awful.
That people used to trip over the wires of consoles and stuff, and they used to get annoying because you'd be like, no.
Yeah, that thing would fly off the top of the TV or off of the entertainment center. You'd be so mad. That was another big thing that I loved about Xbox because you still had wired controllers back then, but they had the breakaway cables on them on the original Xbox. So if somebody walked in front of it, and plus that original Xbox was so damn heavy, even if it didn't have the breakaway cables, that shit ain't moving. But yeah, those breakaway cables were pretty clutch, especially when like mama's carrying some food and she don't see the cords or whatnot, because best
And
believe
trip
I was
over the
being
cord
careful.
and throw all the food all over you.
Right.
Yeah, cheers, Mum. I really wanted my dinner all over me.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking for. Showered in nachos.
Or spaghetti bolognese.
Oh yeah, Stankmon in the chat said, "Man, I had many people ruin games because they tripped over the cord."
Yeah.
Oh man, when you
When
tripped
you couldn't
over,
save games as well, and like because you never know memory cards of that, and then like you get to some point in the game, and then somebody knock the power off or something, like like seriously, like
yeah, see, like that's exactly kind of what I'm talking about. I was gonna go and say the NES because you trip over the cord in the NES. Not only do you have to restart the game, but you got to work on just getting that motherfucker to turn on correctly again. Got to blow in the cartridge, or you thought you had to blow in the cartridge, right? And you put it in all slightly one time, and then after about 20 or 30 tries, then you're like slamming it in there and just being like, fucking turn on, god dang, and it gives you that
these were
like,
that with a few of the SNES cartridges as well. Though a few of the SNES ones would play up. Sometimes you'd be there like blowing the cartridge like mad to try and get it working again.
it said on like I think it started to say it on the 64 cartridges to not blow on them. The 64 was pretty good though. Like the 64 worked fairly well, but like that original Nintendo used to give me nightmares. To this day, my original Nintendo still pisses me off when I finally find a game and I'm like, I'm gonna play this. I'm like spending 10 to 15 minutes just getting it to turn on. It was the artist's vision though, right? Make you work
I guess
hard
I
for
probably
what you
like that
want.
with most consoles, wasn't it? I remember my friend sent me a funny video of like times when developers mucked up or designers or something, and there was a Commodore 64 that they were bringing out, but it didn't have a keyboard with it. They thought they're bringing out a new one where you didn't have a keyboard, but they developed this game called the Terminator with it. The only problem is they didn't when they were making the game, they forgot to realize that there's no keyboard with it, so you couldn't press enter to be able to make the game play. Because before when it used to load up, you used to have to press enter on to keyboard to get it going. Once it loaded up, but they didn't realize that there was going to be no keyboard with this new Commodore 64, so they made this game where you still had to press enter to make the game play. But you couldn't play the game because you didn't have a keyboard with a new Commodore 64, so you could never get past the first screen on this Terminator game because you couldn't press enter.
What a
You end
marvelous
up
F
like
up.
getting this new Commodore 64 with no keyboard, and you get a Terminator game with it, but you couldn't play it because you couldn't press enter to get past the first screen, so you just like never got to play the game.
Yeah, what's up, Mr. Joanna Dark up in the chat? He said, it's Tim. He said, the man, the myth, the legend. And I'm telling you, I'm trying to figure out this brother right now, and I feel like I got a good idea of who he kind of is, and it feels pretty good because I always see him. And Mr. Joanna Dark, you know this, and pretty much everybody that's probably here knows this. Bro is always in the chat, man. He is always there. And if he isn't there to start, he is there to finish. Like I've tried to catch him slipping a few times and just call him out and be like, bro, you ain't here. And he'd always end up showing up. And sometimes the message that I said, like, hey, he ain't here or whatnot, and then you'd show up like an hour later or something, and I'd be like, damn, like he doesn't miss. He doesn't miss. He shoots his shots.
Well, there's been a few Sundays where I've not been able to be on podcasts because of work. So you probably don't notice me in the chat so much on the Sundays because depending on where I'm working and what times I'm working, depends whether I can watch them or not.
Yeah, I got you. I know it's getting kind of late for you. I'm just gonna ask you a few more things before I get you out of here, just because I'm curious. But what kind of like what would be some of the podcasts that you really like enjoy like showing up to every single time?
RDX. What's it called? Is it NCS? Is that the name of cult? The NCS?
Oh,
NXC
oh
or
yeah,
something
yeah.
like
It's XNC,
that.
Xbox
XNC.
News, um, Xbox News Channel or something like that. I don't remember exactly. He says it at the beginning of every episode,
Yeah.
and like I hear some of it. I do my
There's the
best.
RDX, NXC, Retro Renegades, Primetime Gaming. If I have the time on Saturdays, Living Split Screen.
Living split screen's fantastic. It's so
Yeah.
fun to listen to. Those guys are a hoot. Steel Rain and Pong Soul, like Pong Soul is just always positive, always freaking positive, and Steel Rain has some hot takes that are just fun. I really enjoy those guys. I really want to get Steel on the show. I want to get a bunch of people on the show. I want to get Mr. Joanna Dark on here and Sensei and
I got a
you know.
friend that I'll try and see if I can get him on, but it'll be tricky because he's in UK like me. So depending
Oh, it's
on
okay.
what, but he does podcasts as well.
Yeah, I'd love to have him on. My thing is, I really enjoy meeting people, just kind of figuring out what they enjoy, what they like, how they like to game, and just chatting about it. Because we all got a history here. Even if you just started last year or something, you got a reason behind why you decided to pick up a controller repeatedly and keep gaming. You didn't just like find yourself wake up one day with a controller in your hand. You actually like maybe you seen a commercial that was super dope, or maybe you went over to the boy's house and he was like, yo, you need to try this real quick or something like that. So everybody got to history. I like to hear those perceptions and histories from people all around the world. I'm all about it, and I'm just a gamer. I mean, I don't really care what you play on or how you play it. It's just, do you play? Because if you play, I want to hear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. So I guess the last thing I'm going to ask you is, do you ever think that you'll ever get into podcasting, or do you think you'll do any other, um, features, or like is there any urge for you to get into anything like this?
It's quite hard with like the times I work together. Have set times always be on podcasts. Like if I could have it so I know that I'd always have a certain day where I'd always be free every time, then I could probably do one with me and my friend. But it's so tricky with work because I'm always depending on where I am, depends on what times I start, what times I finish. So it makes it hard for me to really commit to being on one all the time.
So it's not that
But
you
if
don't
I
want to, you
could,
just don't got the
no.
time at the moment.
Like if I had it, so I always knew that Sundays I was going to be off, like finishing at a certain time every time. Then I could probably do one Sundays with my friend. But there's sometimes where I'll end up being in a different department, so then I'll end up finishing, starting at a late time, finishing at a late time. So then,
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean you were telling me that, you got another person that you think would possibly like to be on the show. but you said we have a time difference. Keep in mind, the other person that is, on the They Said We Said channel lives in Africa. So I have to do a show with him every Friday. And it's my time at like 3 p.m. I want to say is like 10 p.m. his time. And we do that every Friday as of right now. So I understand the struggle, but yeah, we'll work something out if you give him my information.
Like I say, you've been on Retro Renegades a few times, and that starts at 12 a.m. UK time, which would be 6 p.m. your time. But then I don't know whether you'd want to do one maybe a little bit earlier, which would probably maybe 11, either 10 or 11 p.m. our time, which would then vary between 6 and 5 yours. And 6 and 4, no, 5 and 4 yours, wasn't it?
Right.
I'll have to ask him.
Yeah, just going ahead and ask him. Tell him to holler at me. I'd be down to even do something earlier in the day if necessary. I mean, the podcast today, I thought it was going to be, midnight your time when we started this. But daylight savings.
Daylight savings, and then British summertime and stuff like that.
So yeah, I got you up late at night. It's what is it like now? Like almost 2:30.
Yeah, 2:15.
Oof, man. All right, you guys. Let me go on ahead and wrap this up so my bro can get some sleep so he can be functioning later on today for him. But let me have you just describe gaming for me in 3 words before I get you up out of here.
Entertaining, connecting, and relaxing.
Dope. Man, you always sound relaxed. You've been sounding like you just been, I mean, it is almost 2:30 in the morning though, so all right. I'm just gonna move on. Thanks everybody. Thank you everybody for coming out and watching the show. Everybody in the chat, you guys are dope. Thank you so much for showing your support and love. Make sure you guys hit that like button on your way out. Also, be sure to be on here soon. I'm gonna be having some other guests here next week. Next Tuesday, for instance, I got the Crap Gamer. That's going to be interesting. Definitely come out and check that out. And I definitely got some more stuff that I'm just going to make and put on Twitter for you guys to check it out. So hit me up at HamSolo05 Gaming on Twitter if you want to keep up with the stuff that I'm pumping out. Also, catch me on the show with Loke tomorrow, Bull Sitting, at 3 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Eastern, with me, Loke, Cozy Beluga, talking about all sorts of different stuff in gaming. Like, check this out. We're talking about Dyson, the vacuum company, coming out with a pair of headphones. They're coming out with headphones, bro, that do air purification. The hell is going on?
Ears out.
Yeah, they said wash your ears, you nasty motherfucker. So yeah, it's gonna be a little wild. We're also gonna be talking about, obviously PlayStation Plus and how that, service stacks up to what we kind of got with Game Pass already, which to me personally, I don't think it's really any competition. I don't think I think they're kind of pussyfooting around a little bit over there at PlayStation when it comes to day and date, because they know what's going to happen. It is what it is. It's going to happen. But they're just really nervous about it happening right now because their games do sell really well, and I can't hate them for that. That's their idea. That's their business. I don't care. I'm just going to play the game. If I like it, I'll buy it. If I like it. If I don't like it, it'll just sit on the
They think it'll affect the quality, though, don't they? They have it day and date, but not necessarily.
Yeah. Yeah, that excuse Jim Ryan gave was just dog shit for me. I just didn't like it at all. I just didn't like it at all because there's no way you can tell me that Horizon of 5 is not quality because it's in Game Pass. So get the hell out of here with all that nonsense. You just don't want to spend that money. But anyways, anyways, yeah, like I said, thanks everybody for coming out. Also check me, Matt Likes Games, Twan, and Foremost on Sundays when we do the Game Drain. That is on a different channel though. So like I said, keep up with me on Twitter. You'll know where to find me. Thanks everybody for showing up. Have a wonderful night. Tim, you want to send us out?
Have a great night, everyone.
Peace.
Thanks for everyone who's showed up.
All right. Have a wonderful night.